Welcome, everyone. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.
July 27th. We've made it through the month. Woo! What a crazy month. Those of you that joined us on the activation Friday night, whether you were here in person or remotely or listening to the playback, it was the Mayan day at a time here, wasn't it?
A lot of yeah,
It
a
was.
lot of things readjusting, should we
Hmm.
say? A lot of realignment, a lot of realignment, a lot of stuff being brought up to be released. So it happens when you're in that portal, source portal
Hmm.
for a full day, where you're just connected to source.
And it was interesting. We had this like great plan. We were all ready. We did sound checks. We got new portable mics and had the laptop, had everything set up, camera angles, all this. And then, we tested everything and then things started to well, thank you, Anne. I'm glad you're with us. And right before we were supposed to start, it like started acting weird. We kept losing Wi-Fi and all these, I don't know whether it was solar flares going on. So we kept testing it. And then we were like, all right, we're just going to surrender, right? And then this giant thunderstorm rolled through that prevented some people even from getting to us, right? They lost power. We had people lose power. They were going in and out. And and it was like the sun was out and it was raining and it was thundering, lightning. It was just a very weird, surreal experience. So we just thought, well, whoever shows up. And, some people were late and other people just kept getting in and out of the Zoom. And then our camera, we could not see. So the video, those of you that paid and watched the video, we couldn't see anything on my iPad was black. So we couldn't see any of it. We had no idea where the camera angle was. Like I kind of went back and cut some things out because it was like there were times where it was just like focused on the floor. You know what I mean? So it was so funny. So the energy is there. I think it was really powerful energy. I did find out I was at yoga yesterday, and someone said to me that their phones and their electronics all went out at the studio at the same time. So there was something happening. And another friend of ours that's in Phoenixville, she couldn't make it because she lost power and Wi-Fi and internet. So there was some kind of recalibration. And the other thing that was really interesting when I was doing the grid, it was all this like beautiful divine feminine energy. So it was like pinks and like rose and shells and pearls and just really soft. And we have some of the flowers we brought in here to have the energy from the garden. And as I was doing it, it was like there was this sweetness and softness, but yet there was this chaos outside. It was a real interesting dichotomy. So as the group came in, we all start settling in. And this is in the replay, and I wrote it in the thing. Our neighbor that recently, we love our neighbor Lou, bless his soul. He recently transitioned, and it was great because he died in his home. He was in his 80s, it was a very peaceful, his dog was with him, and so no one's living there. And we did get the dog into a Doberman rescue, and she's in foster care and doing great. So all of a sudden, someone starts shooting guns, like really shooting guns, like target practice from his property. So we're kind of like, what's going on? Like Friday night, it's been raining and it continues on and on. So we're trying to get the group into this meditation. And so we're trying to explain to them, it's like, what is going on? And we learn, and as soon as we got to a point in the meditation, you couldn't hear it on the recording, the guns, and we started working with the energy of kind of the conflict happening in the planet. You know, the intensity of the aggression, the anger, the war, the fighting. So we brought in our heart, and at one point we all went into our crown, into this group energy. It literally stopped and it never came back on. And so what we found out later was someone else in the group that was dialing in from Washington, D.C. The same thing happened at her house. Her neighbor randomly decides to go out and have target practice and is shooting guns at the same time it was going on with us. and then it stopped. So how interesting that we're in the nation's capital and we were talking about the United States and the birthplace of the United States, both with this weird energy, and then all of a sudden everything like really smoothed out. And the other piece that a couple people had picked up in the group, and you can hear some of it in the Q&A, is that we're in Chad's Ford, which is on the Brandywine battlefield. We literally sit, which is on native Lenape land that was then taken over and had the Battle of Brandywine here, which was the first kind of war. So it's got that soldier war energy, right? So as we did the meditation, and some people picked up soldiers and of clearing and just bringing the light here, and it was almost like whatever war conflict that energy has received this incredible healing from the group. So if you tuned in and you felt some of that, or you had that experience or in your visions, thank you so much. It is a group collective. We're kind of the conduits working with each other. All of us are conduits. So it was incredibly powerful. And I will say that at one point, I felt like we dropped out of the bottom of the meditation room. We went down through the earth, and a couple other people in the group felt the same, saw the same thing at the same time. So it was just really,
Interesting.
it was interesting. Yeah, it was very interesting. A lot of chaos, a lot of phonetic, but yet underneath it all was really smooth. So when we came out, there was this kind of plasmic sweetness and a lot of galactic energy. And I'm not so sure if it was from the Andaras. It was probably from the Andaras, from the group, and from the property. And our friend Bobby had these Sintamani, I think I'm saying that properly, stones that I don't really have any experience with, but these things were like off the chart. He had them by his chair, and I walked in the meditation room and had to walk around, and I was like, I couldn't even talk. And you kind of see it in the video. I'm like, what is in here? What? And we tried to put them by the altar, and I was like, they have to go outside. So, and what I'm saying to him is we didn't ask them permission. So we took them out by the trees, and then I talked to the five of them. Bobby and I did. And then we were guided that two wanted to come into the altar. We left three out by the big Merlin tree with all the other Andaras, and other Andaras were in the pool in the water. So we were running the circuit through the water to kind of bridge. And he said they're connected to the Syrian energy, Sirius A and B. And I said, well, of course. And then there's Sirius C, where there's a whole theory about that. So it was a really interesting kind of flow. So some of it you'll pick up on the video when you watch back, or you may have been listening in, but that's what was going on. And I did some research on those stones yesterday, and they're pretty hard to get, but they're very cool. And to me, they feel very masculine. They're very intense. And what a beautiful thing that he's one of the guardians of these incredible meteorite kind of stones. So, and they're big. So that was also going on. So it was interesting. And then at the end, people felt guided because some people really tuned into the water. And I said to them, go out and maybe put your feet in the water. And I said, if you need to jump in the pool, it's totally okay. Like go in with your clothes or whatever you need to do. Like we're all family here. And everybody was sitting out by the pool. And I was kind of doing some things and walked out, and there were all these ships over the pool, and they're all talking, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, there's this is they're like, and some. So I started taking pictures, and then I walked over and I said, "You guys, look at all these ships," and you can see in the video, that's not a firefly, that's a ship, and then there were these weird beams, like one at one point is coming this way, and another one. And someone sent me in an email that said, what's that green light? What's that thing? Well, there's a light at the bottom and the wall of the pool. But the light coming from the sky beaming in wasn't from the pool. And they said, what, it's beaming green. Well, there's an Andara in front of, there's a Ganesh statue, and there's a giant, what I call the Lumerian temple, like from Kelly Chladni's work and her Oracle deck. I love that card, and I've worked a lot with that. So I call that Andara, which sits in front of Ganesh. The light was beaming on that Andara and making the plants around it glow. It was
Magical.
magical. So yesterday I was blown out. I could not. I felt like I had an energy hangover. I felt like I drank a case of beer or like two bottles of wine. I don't know. I went to yoga and I just said, I just need to grant. I couldn't get assimilated, so I took a nap and I just kind of tried to relax, and I feel fine today. But so that was the whole synopsis of the Andara day at a time adventure, but it was potent.
Yeah. I've been waiting for to do this day out of time celebration, to be in synchronization with the Mayan calendar. Like most people will say, but no matter, what channel you're listening to, your inner guidance, but that the Mayans have the most correct calendar. But it's more than a calendar, it's more of a energetic, it maps how energy moves through source and how it synchronizes with Earth and with the galaxy. It's part of the organic grid. And that one day out of the year when you're connected into source is such a huge portal, but nobody knows about
Mhm.
it. Nobody knows. So it's like, why are we not in attunement with this one most powerful day, right? And of course, you think the most powerful day of the year or one of the most powerful portals is going to be like this place of Kumbaya, right? And we were like,
We were getting
we
shredded.
were scrambling, and while we're doing the outward things, inwardly, you're like, how do you hold on to your sovereignty in this? How do you not get caught up in the frustration or the anger or the I'm not connected to you're battling all the turbulence of your own emotional bodies and your mental bodies trying to figure it out, and then all this is that, and then you're like, how do we connect to the energy that's flowing through here? And it was really interesting is that in the Mayan calendar, everything is on rhythms of source. So they don't do like a Gregorian calendar. It's at 13 months, 28 days, 364 days in a year, and then you have the one day at a time. And each month builds on the theme that's coming from source for that year, right? And this year's theme is about planting the seeds and
Mm.
waking up to those new paradigm, the new earth, the new energetic Shambhala, whatever we want to say that we're going to create as a collective consciousness that wants enlightenment and peace and love, whatever you can think about that and plant that into your day and into your life, then that's what's going to be happening for the next 13 months. The first month is about purpose. And it's very funny, the Mayans call it the bat moon. It's the moon of the bat. And we were sitting there by the pool, and all these bats were just inside the lights, and they were just clearing all the insects off of us. It was quite a interesting inward outward display of the energies. So
And the weaving of that, which is so beautiful. The Mamos, when they were here in the Zagas, it was all about the seeds in which we were planting, right? They talked to us a lot about the spiritual seeds. The Pagamentos, they kept referencing the seeds and how sacred they were. Even Mama Rodrigo sent us something this week about the seeds, right? So he doesn't know anything about the Mayan. Well, he does on some level, but not like in our
organically, yes.
organically, he does. And the Zagas, when they were with us, and some of you were there, they did the bat dance when we were in Harrisburg, when we were at the Susquehanna River, when we went to the studio, Be Present Wellness with Jackie and her team. That's what the Zagas did, was the bat dance. And it was about transformation, right? They were clearing the energy. Do you remember? They were in there working the energy and circling, and they had in the spiral. And it was just, there were so many different synchronicities, even in the group with the Andaras. We had people see the spiral, feel the energy go through the spiral, which is a lot how they work. So it was extraordinary. Enough that like I tried to share some of the photos on Facebook on our Alchemy page. They took them down. They flagged them. It's not appropriate content. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so
What
yeah.
I love about the bat is the bat uses sonar.
Mm.
It uses senses to navigate, where it's going, and it knows where to turn left and right before it runs into it, right, without seeing through the eyes. And that's the transition that we're going through. Like the third dimensional, emotional, mental body and our physical bodies are all dependent on the senses. And we have to cultivate the heart energy, the love energy that heals the traumas in our hearts and it gets the heart field moving, the heart field. That's our sensing instrument. That's the new paradigm for sensing. That's the new currency for Shambhala or the new world or the new order. It's to be able to feel. Well, it's okay to see things, but your seeing is like you're taking a vision outside of you and you're turning it around. But when you can feel it, you can navigate it in the dark like the bats, right? You can connect to that consciousness and weave it with you. It's a more intimate uh, concentrate. It's a more intimate interaction with spirit, with God, with each other. You can feel the love and share the love. That's what we want. That connection. That's the interaction. And so that's what we're kind of transmuting, right? You said this is the year of transmutation, and so we're transmuting our dependency on the senses and the sensory, and moving into that feeling nature that is about sharing it. That's the real abundance, is when we
Mhm.
feel it, whether it be love or light or healing energy, whatever we're feeling, we want to share it, right? And that was well, it was really just really potent that when you start to feel that energy in your heart, it gets intense and it can bring up some fears. And we tend to, the personality or the mind who starts to label it as something's wrong, right? But if we can stick with it and continue to cultivate the heart energy, it gets more and more intense and you turn into like almost like a plasma feeling. But then you start to feel that divine love, the love of God, and you want to just share the love of God. And I know one of the things that have kind of come up to us is, and I saw it again yesterday when I was looking at a post with Sai Baba. I was like, I don't know what I was doing on Facebook, but somehow I was on the web, I saw a post. And the ultimate act of devotion is that love with God.
Oh yeah.
When you can just love God, give God your love, and then let God, like sometimes when you get in that state, you just start to see all kinds of different people, and you may pay maybe past lives, maybe family, and it's like you're putting your energy or your love into God. You're sharing it, and then God takes it because it just puts it out there for all of your relationships and and sprinkles it everywhere in your life so that all your relationships are better. Everything in your life is better. So that devotion is like, I feel like that's like keeps coming up in our conversations as like one of the highest qualities to cultivate.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing is the concept of God. It's really different for everybody. I mean, some people don't believe in God. They believe in spirit. Some people don't believe in anything else, right? So is it God out here or is it God in here? Or is it universe and nature or is it spirit? So I would be in the self-inquiry of what is God to me and what does it mean? And that's why service and love and devotion and practice can bring you into an understanding of what God is for you. And some people, it's how religions have been hijacked. They have taken that love and devotion within yourself and put it outside so your energy goes there versus within you to be a self-generating vehicle. So, and hopefully,
And the other part of that equation,
fuck is snoring
the other
really
part of that
loud.
equation is the connection to Mother Earth right now is more and more important. Her crystalline codes in her heart and her core, when we connect to that and start to run the circuits with the core of Mother Earth, we just magic turns on. You just turn on all your inner temple, your inner lights, your chakras, your whole DNA. Everything starts to light up, right? So
Yeah.
play with that too. Play with how you can be in that rhythm or pranic interflow, interchange with Mother Earth.
So the last piece I will say before we go into meditation is going back to the Mamos and the Zagas. That is confirmed. They are coming to for the fall equinox. They'll be traveling to Nantucket Island in Massachusetts. Those links are all live. There is a Pagamento on Friday morning, a program all day Saturday, a program all day Sunday, and a Pagamento, which is a sacred ceremony offering. These are all at the waters and the oceans on Monday morning. So you can go to all of them, you can go to one of them. There will be personal healing sessions available. We're going to offer those to people in person first if you haven't done them, but I will create a waiting list if you want to do them via Zoom. They prefer it be in person, but we have had people do it Zoom and be pretty effective. So I'll put the links below this description down there. And just to give you a perspective, this week they leave and they'll be off the grid for a month preparing for September. No contact, no phone. They told us they will not talk to us until September, because they have been instructed to prepare for this work. So whatever it is, it's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You ready to begin, honey?
yeah. I mean,
Let's
do you
go.
want to I'm gonna share screen, do my best to do this properly?
Well, she's pulling up the picture so you're not staring at us the whole time.
We thought we'd tune into the
Andara. It's a collective consciousness. Andara, Andromedan, Ra, Ra, love of God. Yeah, just take that in. Breathe that into your pineal gland. And if you start to focus on the center of the spiral, the source point, the golden egg. The golden egg represents your own energetic auric fields. So, as with each breath, you just kind of breathe in the frequencies and the picture of the golden egg into your third eye. Breathe it in, and you just hold and allow your third eye and your pineal gland to charge with these frequencies. And then you can exhale them out into your auric fields. Some of you will be guided to exhale it in other directions, up, down, left, right, but just breathe it in. Hold in your third eye. And this time we're just going to exhale it down into the heart. Okay? Exhaling. Hold. And when you breathe in now, you're going to breathe the energy in from the golden egg into your heart. And then we're going to exhale it up into the pineal. Breathing in. Feel it in the heart. Exhale it up through the pineal and out into your auric field. We'll do that one more loop. Breathing into the pineal, breathing in. Hold, feel that connection to the heart. And then as you feel you're fully charged and the pathway is charged, then exhale down into your heart. Now your heart is holding the energies, breathing in the frequencies from the picture of the golden egg in front of you, breathing in, merging the two in your heart, creating another loop, and then exhaling it up through your throat, through your pineal, and out your third eye. Exhale. Allow your breathing to readjust to the new frequencies. You can close your eyes now. We're connected to the Andara Andromedan collective. And you may feel your personal grid as an envelope of golden light. And within that envelope, you have your 15 auric fields from the 15 dimensions. And connected to the bottom of your golden egg light body, there's a tube of light that connects down into Mother Earth. So just move your awareness down into your root. And we're just going to breathe in this heart energy and exhale it down through the root and just clear the pathway to the root chakra. So breathing in, the golden frequencies of your golden light body, exhaling down through the lower chakras, solar plexus, sacral, tailbone, down into the root chakra, and start to breathe from your root chakra now. See if you can feel the antakarana, the opening as it responds to the chakras, the four petals of your root chakra. And just notice that tube of light that we call your antakarana that connects from your root all, it's like your vertical column all the way down into the core of Mother Earth. So you have your aspect of you that's conscious of you, of your multidimensional ability to see perspectives in your personal body right now, in your personal light grid. And we're going to take another aspect of our consciousness and just exhale. We're going to breathe into the root chakra and exhale this golden egg down, write it down into the core of Mother Earth. And just allow us to deposit this golden egg of our intentions, of our light body, to be received by the crystalline core and crystalline diamond heart of Mother Earth. Let's begin breathing in, exhaling down from your heart into your root, breathing the egg into your root, and exhaling all the way down now. And then breathe from the core of Mother Earth. Allow your energetic egg, your energetic golden intention to merge with the consciousness, the diamond light consciousness of Mother Earth, Mother Tara, Mother Gaia. And notice as you begin to feel yourself more present at the core of Mother Earth within her diamond heart field. You have this magnetism at your personal body. It's almost like you're being pulled down, grounded. And yet you're becoming more tangible within the core of Mother Earth. And you may notice that you've kind of entered into a duplicate, but it's a kind of a larger golden shield or disk of consciousness. We're all kind of dropping in our golden light bodies. Just continue to attune, breathe, become aware of consciousness, your consciousness here, and how it's a vital part of this golden consciousness, this golden disk, these high heart energies of the Ankh, of our eternal nature, of the devotion to Divine Mother, Divine Father, to Source. And see if you can feel those energies through your emotional body or through your sensing of your heart. Not only in your personal body here, but down there. And allow yourself to land fully in our golden disk of light. And begin to notice as you are breathing, you're synchronizing with the currents of the diamond light of Mother Earth. It's almost as if in this golden disk, within the disk, the diamond consciousness of Mother Earth, you are acting as a mover of that consciousness. You're breathing it in through your root, through your astral, etheric, causal, and eighth dimensional bodies. And then exhaling it into the golden disk, this radial body of collective consciousness that we are. And as we breathe and merge, and the energies flow from us into the grid around us, we become more conscious of that sentience and how it responds to your emotional states, to your love, to your devotion, to your gratitude, to your appreciation of the connection that you are making with this being of light that we are. And you're fully encapsulated, but that's too strong of you're just surrounded by this loving light, golden light. And it's a sovereign frequency held by that diamond light, the 12th dimensional light of Mother Earth and your own Christos self. And as you breathe into your heart, you might start to feel as you get more and more anchored in your spine and more anchored in the golden high heart consciousness, collective grid of our Christos self, you might start to feel the fluid of the consciousness of your Christos cells. It's almost like we're in a golden plasmic healing, high heart, diamond light frequency. As you become more in tune to it, it becomes flexible or malleable. You can move it with your heart, through your breath, play with it, share with it, love it. And whenever we activate that energy of play, the dolphin consciousness wants to be involved. If you wish, allow them to be with you in the purity of the dolphin, Sirius Gateway. And you may feel that as they're swimming in this play, they're just pulling tendrils of golden light and diamond consciousness, weaving them through us. But they're also weaving them through this dimension to their dimension. Light threads, golden threads of love, silver threads. It's like they're creating a conduit, a bridge, a tube to connect this core of Mother Earth, this disk of consciousness that we are holding, magnetically opening a thread or a conduit to Sirius. And connect with that higher dimensional frequency of Sirius, that soul and oversoul templates. Feel that enlightened consciousness and that unconditional love, the stellar love of the Syrian consciousness flowing through us, flowing into us, and into the earth grid, into the crystalline diamond frequencies of Mother Earth. And as she receives them, she circulates them out through her ley lines and axotonal lines and vortices, creating a rainbow frequency, a torus field with their Syrian sister. You can kind of feel that sisterly love, that sisterly admiration. Always wanting just the best and brightest and highest. And pour that into your grid, pour that into this collective grid, and pour that into the Syrian dolphins. and allow them to take you there to Sirius, the Syrian sun, in the sixth soul dimensions. Notice as you open up that frequency to that frequency, how your heart and high heart begin to merge. And bring that merge point. There's like a, if the heart was earth and soul, and the high heart was Sirius, and they have this center point between them to which they both circulate, rotate in divine order, in divine harmony. That midpoint of consciousness is that connection to the source, to the immortal source, your immortal nature, your eternal nature. The azure, the azure, that blue golden turning into green. And we're just speaking, we're just feeling that building, that force field within, between the heart and high heart. The green ray of healing and the golden ray of immortality. Merging in that azure point within our personal grid. And as it gains a little energy, you'll start to feel that the energies from above you are coming down through the crown, from the diamond heart of Mother Earth coming up into your heart. And as they swirl around your heart, they push out horizontally, front and back, as if you're creating a tube of light in front of you and back of you. It's like an impenetrable tube of light that you can be in your clarity and your sovereignty and your diamond frequencies always connected to source and your Christos 12th dimensional self. And begin to breathe through that azure point. And as you breathe in, maybe you're pulling the energies into the front or the back of the tube, of your horizontal tube. Hold and then build up that azure charge. And let your inner guidance tell you how you exhale it. Just exhale it out into your field. Breathing in again. The center of that collective point. Feeling the communication from our third dimensional self to our soul self, to our oversoul self, and exhaling. Through your breath, you're pulling these energies in from above and below to your heart, your vertical channel for your vertical alignment. And as you exhale, you're distributing them out to your auric field, out to your reality, and out into the collective. Practice on your own. As there's an attunement happening. Now, this azure ray energy that you're charging up with, feel into the feeling of it. Know it in your cells, in your atomic and subatomic consciousness. Recognize these frequencies. Run them through your heart and through your central column, your vertical column, your staff of immortality. What they would like us to do is your azure ray point, this frequency of immortality is also a frequency of infinity. And it resonates with your tailbone. You may feel your tailbone is being activated. Breathe in this azure consciousness into your high heart. And then exhale it down through your heart, down through your tailbone. And just clear out any density there. Push it out, push it down to the Mother Earth. Allow Mother Earth to take it. We're going to do that 3 times together. And on the third time, we're just going to go back down into Mother Earth and reunite in her diamond heart. Let us begin breathing in. Diamond azure blue. And exhale. Down through your tailbone, your root. To Mother Earth. Breath number 2, breathing in. Feel the azure blue consciousness and exhale. Feel the tingling at the tip of your tailbone, your first cell of creation. Breathing in. Feel the azure consciousness within you and exhale it down through the tip of your tailbone and ride the consciousness all the way down to the core of Mother Earth and attach your thread of consciousness into the diamond consciousness of Mother Earth. And breathe back in our collective golden disk. Just allow yourself now just to explore your connection, your energetic connection with Mother Earth. Just surrender, release, let go. Anything that comes up that you feel you no longer need, no longer want, is in the way of your connection with Mother Earth and your connection with Source and your higher self. Let it dissolve in the golden liquid diamond consciousness. Allow yourself to dissolve. Dissolve into Source. Be no thing and realize you are everything. And from this place of pure potentiality. How can you serve planet Earth this year? And how can your service align with your evolution, your growth, the seeds you are planting now? And what do you need to do to empower them? To be in co-creation for the new paradigm. Bring your awareness back into your body. Ride your antakarana of your golden seed within the core of Mother Earth. The golden seed of your intentions. Ride that back up into your heart. Plant them there in your high heart. Plant them there in your azure. Plant them there. And exhale them out into your auric field. And give them to the creative source so they may return to you in abundance. Abundance of love, abundance of peace, and freedom. Just bringing your hands in namaste at your heart, landing fully, and slowly opening your eyes.
Namaste.
Namaste.